And again, welcome to the Bible Christians of God, Brother Jacob, and this is the a Black History special. Uh, and we're going into, let me give first the greeting, the appropriate greeting. Happy Sabbath to all the sons and daughters of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, spiritually and physically. And today's lesson is a titled Israel, the Black History Series. Israel, the Black History Series. This being Black History Month, you know, in Black History Month, they talk about the things that are, you know, great accomplishments amongst what they call African Americans and on this side of the Atlantic. And they talk about how, you know, you get Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, various famous blacks, civil rights activists that stood up and did great things for black folks and have helped further our cause to be where we are today. But guess what, y'all? Our history goes back way before we came on this side of the Atlantic. And that's the intent of this series. We're going to deal with a lot. And today, I'm going to start out with color. We're going to start out with color researched in the Bible. Color researched in the Bible. And this lesson busts a lot of bubbles, y'all. Matter of fact, it exposes who actually studies this Bible and who don't. And we're going to actually deal with the facts that's laid out in this book as this book lays it out. And we're going to clearly see color. That's why I have these pictures of ancient Egyptian slaves, Hebrew slaves. And these various pictures come out of the Egyptian tombs. And you can see in various museums concerning Egyptian artifacts, pictures that were found inside of the pyramids in Egypt. Even have this right here off the wall inside of the Egyptian pyramid. What color are these slaves, y'all? What color are they? Well, we're going to find out in the Holy Bible that indeed it has people of color in it. And we're going to bust some myths up, some sayings out there. The white man wrote this book. White man put all this stuff in there. And we're going to find out, really? Did they really do that? And this also establishes whose Bible this is. Is it the Lord's word? Or is it some man-made that he just put this together and put it out here for? So we're going to bust a lot of myths up, y'all. So what I want to do is start out in St. John 3 and 12. St. John 3 and 12. Because Jesus says something here that's clearly not taught, but must be understood. Because this Bible has a physical side, an earthly side, and it has a spiritual side. You hear a whole lot of Bible studies that Christians talking about. They do all these various studies, but they never go in and actually study the people that this book is talking about.
Right.
How about that? They're going all this other stuff, all what Jesus is in, not a problem. But if you want to study the Word of God, understand the people that it's also addressing. Why we got to do it like that? Let's see what Jesus says right here in St. John 3 and 12. Actually, I like to start at verse 11. Because we're going to see some things that we're going to testify of. We're not going to philosophize. I'm not going to stand up here and give you my opinion. Because my opinion don't mean a hill of beans, y'all. What the book says, the book is right. What Jacob says, subject to necessity, y'all. So we're going to read this right here, St. John 3 and 11. Will come out of Jesus' mouth. Now watch what it says. Verily, verily, I say unto you, we speak that we do know. Notice. And we testify that we have seen. And how say, and you receive not our witness. Seeing what? The word in the word of God, y'all. And watch how Jesus actually drops his context, puts us in appropriate context. Verse 12. What are we talking about seeing, and what is it we talking about knowing? Watch what Jesus said. If I told you earthly things, and you believe not, how shall you believe if I tell you of heavenly things? In other words, the Lord is saying things that are natural, earthly, that you clearly see around you, that you live in every day. if the Lord telling you about them, he said, if I told you earthly things and you believe not, how you going to believe in spiritual things, heavenly things? Notice verse 13. And no man hath ascended up to heaven. No man. That's what the book said. David ain't went to heaven. What they want to say, you got Christians running around thinking Enoch ran to heaven. Jesus said no man hath ascended. What does no man have ascended to heaven mean? Does it leave anybody out? No, it does not. So Enoch ain't there. Enoch is dead. Dead as a doorknob. But he that came down from heaven, even Jesus covered even after him, even the Son of Man which is in heaven. So Jesus is in heaven right now, so ain't nobody ascended up there. That's why he said, understand the earthly things. Did Paul teach the same pattern? Let's look at it in 1 Corinthians 15 chapter. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 46. I got a lot to get out. And we're dealing with color. We're going to see if there's color indeed in this Bible. We're going to see the scriptures actually identify people of color in this book. That's why I got these posters right here, y'all. Okay? This is what was found inside the Egyptian pyramids. This is what, oh, look at all them black folks right there, y'all. All of those black folks that were slaves in Egypt. So right here, 1 Corinthians 15 and 46. Because we're addressing an earthly thing. And if you don't believe this, your understanding of heavenly things is jacked up. Straight up. So watch this, verse 46. Watch what Paul says. Howbeit, that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural. So you got to get the natural things that this Bible is talking about before you understand the heavenly things. That's why Paul said the spiritual things. So, and after that, that which is spiritual. So the natural first, then the spiritual. So we're going to understand, even look at Brother James here. Let's go to James 2:15. But Brother James said, look, you sitting up there telling people spiritual things, but you're not giving that which is needful for the body. What does it profit? Amen. So that's why this book don't mean nothing to most people, because they're not understanding the physical side of this book. Who are the people of this book? Are there people of color in this book? We're going to research it, y'all. We're going to look at in this book. And we're going to let this book speak. So James 2 and 15. James 2 and 15. Look what Brother James says. James 2 and verse 15. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say to them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding you give them not those things which are needful to the body, what does it profit? In other words, you don't just the physical aspect, you can say all the spiritual things you want. But the natural things we must understand in this book. And Jesus said, if I've told you of earthly things and you believe not, how you going to understand heavenly things? So now let's go and address the biggest myth off the top. Right off the top. The white man wrote this book. You got some people that really don't believe this Bible that are black folks that say, I know the Bible ain't right because everything the white man do is wrong. He's a destroyer. He came and took the land. He even wrote the Bible. He gave the Bible. He done translated and rewrote it so many times. How can you trust and believe that book? The white man wrote the Bible. Really? You are in for a serious awakening. Let's go and look at some scriptures that clearly say, I am black. Right now. As a matter of fact, 5 places we're going to look at where it's clearly black folks. So if the white man wrote this book, he should have took out what we're finna read right now. Let's go to the Songs of Solomon. Songs of Solomon in the Old Testament, behind Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. And we're going to Solomon 1 and verse 5. Solomon 1 and verse 5. The Song of Solomon, verse 5. Because you got people saying, white man wrote this book. I'm like, really? Dude. They wrote those other little funny books, because they come here in those books and twist it and make it say something totally different. But this is one of those, guess what? This is the Lord's book. And watch what it said. If the white man wrote this book, why did he take out the following passage? We're going to read Songs of Solomon 1 and 5. It says, I am black. Wait a minute, that shouldn't even be in there if this is the white man's book. That should have been scratched out, erased, deleted. If the white man wrote this book, why would he say, put in, I am black, right there? Notice, but calmly, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon, look not upon me, because I am black. It's right next door to each other. Two verses back to back. If the white man wrote this book, he should have said, oh man, we got to scratch that. We got to change it and say, I am white. Why didn't he put I am white there? Because this ain't his book. The Gentiles use like a tool like you use to get your food off the plate. Amen. So this is the Lord's book. He had it put in here right next to each other. I am black. Twice. Because the son had looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. Oh, my mother's children. So now, he being the son, his mother, what color is his brother, y'all? If he's black, what color is his brother? What color is his mother? Okay? So we're going to get into that. But he says, my mother's children were angry with me, and they made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard have I not kept. So now let's go to Jeremiah 8 and 21. So right there, they should have deleted that. Oh man, we don't want those Negroes thinking that the Bible's them. We want them to worship a white Jesus. We don't want them thinking, man, that's them. If the white man wrote the book, why is that in there? Next time you hear somebody make that statement, hit them with that and say, how come they didn't take that out? Then you ask them, how come they didn't take this out? Jeremiah 8 and 21. Watch this, y'all. And then we're going to go and verify. All this is, it is what it is. Notice what it says, Jeremiah 8 and 21. For the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. I am black. Wait a minute, that's 3 places in the book. If the white man wrote this book, y'all. 3 places. Jeremiah 8 and 21 should have been deleted. It should have been removed. Man, I don't want them black folks thinking that's them. 3 places. Notice, astonishment have taken hold on me. Let's go to the next place. Let's go to Jeremiah 14 chapter, verse 1 and 2. Jeremiah 14 chapter, verses 1 and 2. Watch this. If the white man wrote this book, wow, I sure can't tell. Watch this. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah concerning the dearth. Judah, that's where the word Jew comes from. Judah mourners, and the gates thereof languish. They are black. Wait a minute, it said that Judah is black unto the ground? Wait a minute now. Look what color these people is on this that was found beside the Egyptian pyramids. Ain't no black folks, y'all? Interesting. Look what color this is on this right here, y'all. Look, are they white or dark? So they black onto the ground. So it said Judah is black onto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Let's go to another place, y'all, that they should have deleted. They should have sure. Well, no, they white. Because the people that they want to call Jews, y'all, hold on, let me give you a picture right quick. At the Holocaust. What color? Them white folks, y'all. These are the people that was in the Holocaust. They say, these the Jews. But they white. Not black. But we're going to get there. We're going to show you why you got people running around calling white folks Jews. And they're not. Okay, but that's in this series. Like I said, this series, we're going to walk it all the way out. And we're going beyond the month of Black History, y'all. Because they just give us 28 days. That amounts to 4 Sabbaths. But we get way more history than 4 Sabbaths, y'all. And I intend to at least give everyone a good understanding about Israel, the Black History series. We're going to deal with a whole lot of history, y'all. That go way before the ships of slavery, way before Martin Luther King, way before Harriet Tubman sat on that bus talking about, I'm standing here for my rights. We got a lot, way more history than that, y'all. So look, we're going to Lamentations 4 and 8. Lamentations 4 and 8. And we can take this whole color thing on the road. It's mobile. Somebody wanted to go in the church and prove that the children, the color of the people of this book, the children, the Jews are black. Oh, we packing. Oh, we mobile, y'all. We'll go to your nearest church to set it up and break out this book. And we're going to let the chips fall where they may. We're going to let the book talk like it's finna say. Now, watch this, y'all. Lamentations 4 and 8. Now, this is an appearance scripture. Because watch what it says. Talking about, well, it says, look, their visage is blacker than coal. What does visage mean? That means appearance. It's as in visual, what you see. They're blacker than coal. Now, you know some brothers and sisters that's pretty dark skinned, y'all. I had a friend, we used to call him Black Bart. Because he's one of them real dark, black, dark brothers. You know, they kind of call us like medium brown. I'm probably in the category of medium brown. Then you got some, y'all know, you know some brothers that's straight dark, coal black. But it says, their visage is blacker than coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaved unto their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick. Wait a minute now. Well, how come this guy right here, if you look at this picture, right, this guy right here, he look like a stick. Well, how come he white? We're going to find out, y'all, that the people they call Jews, according to this book, they not. They're not. So we're talking about the people. So here's the thing. I want to go Lamentations 5 and 10. Lamentations 5 and 10. Skip right over to the next chapter. And we're going to actually start at 5 and 9. I want to do that. Because this is how we live, y'all. Whew. This is how Israel is, y'all. We got our bread with the pearl of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Notice, our skin was black. Wait a minute now. If I was a white man wrote this book, I would definitely delete that. It said our skin was black. Black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Wait a minute now. How does the skin get black? You ain't never seen no white folks turn black unless they were dead. Okay? So this ain't talking about no white Jews, y'all. This talking about black folks. But look, let's go and verify some things, y'all. Let's go to Leviticus 13th chapter. Leviticus 13th chapter and verse 9. Again, I reference us back. Look at the color these people is. They fit what we read, what we just read. These are dark people. These are people of color. People of color. Now I got other pictures that I want to run by you right quick. Other pictures that come out the tomb. It said this is the tomb of Rekma, Avizar, and Thebes. This is approximately 1600 to 1700 BC. Look at this, black folks. Black folks, y'all. Look at this, I got this out of the Egyptian pyramid photographs. Black folks. Dark-skinned people, okay? Dark-skinned people. These are dark-skinned people, y'all. Got a picture of two Egyptian slaves. Two Egyptian slaves beating up, two black people beating on a black man. Oh, black on black crime, huh? That ain't nothing new, huh? That's been going on a long time, y'all. Here we go, some more pictures, y'all. Look. Black on black. Black people, y'all. Look at that. Dark. Dark folks, y'all. Now I got this piece right here that come out of, this is the Egyptian wall painting of Pharaoh pursuing Israelites. This is approximately 1446 BC. Look at all these black folks, y'all. Look at all these black folks. Now I did this in black and white just for the purpose of understanding why it said their victory is black as coal. So you got Pharaoh on the chariot chasing all these Hebrews. But everybody black. All of them are black folks. All of them. So now we're going to go to Leviticus 13th chapter. And we're going to verify something, y'all. We're going to verify something. Leviticus 13, and we're going to start at verse 9. Leviticus 13 and verse 9. Now, this is talking about leprosy, y'all. The plague of leprosy. Okay? And we're going to take a good look at that. And we're going to look at this picture. We're going to look at some pictures, and we're going to see what makes sense. Leviticus 13, I keep thinking 23 times. Leviticus 9, 13 and 9. Watch this. When the plague of leprosy, which is actually talking about vitiligo also, okay, we're going to get into that shortly, is in a man, when he shall be brought unto the priest. Watch this, y'all. There's two kinds of leprosies. It's one that's the skin just swells up, and then there's one where the skin discolors, okay? Two kinds of leprosy. But watch this, y'all. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin. Wait a minute now. If this rising be white in the skin, what if you're looking at white folks, y'all, that's got leprosy? Let me bring this up. This is a picture of what they want to call white folks got leprosy. Y'all see any difference, y'all? Is that how's that? Any change? Really no difference. They're white, right? But watch this. When a black person gets it. Look at that picture. Oh, now it makes sense. If you're looking at and the priest see the rising in his white skin and the rising will be white in the skin. So what kind of folks is the priest looking at, y'all? What kind of folks is the priest looking at? He looking at black folks, ain't he? Looking at black folks. So watch this. And if he have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, verse 11, it is old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean. This is unclean, y'all. This is a person that's unclean. If you can freeze that and take a look at it and close in, you will see that he got blotches of white on him. This is unclean. Okay? Now watch this. Verse 12. And if leprosy break out abroad in his skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that had the plague, from his head even to his foot, whithersoever the priest looketh. Okay? Then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy cover all his flesh, he is pronounced him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white. Oh, wait a minute. What color was it before he turned all white, y'all? What color was it? You sure it wasn't white to turn white. Okay, that's foolishness. So what color was it before he turned all white, y'all? It was brown. It was black. That's how we read. The skin was black upon them. That's why he said, it is all turned white. He is clean. Interesting. He is all turned white. He's clean now. Let's skip down to verse 16. Skip all the way down to verse 24. Skip down to verse 24. Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there's a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth hath a white bright spot. Wait a minute now. Whoa. if you're looking at what they call these Jews, they don't make no sense. They already white. Why would you be looking for white spots on white people? Hello? Because these ain't, this ain't who was there, y'all. That's just talking about. That's talking about me and you. Look, it said, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be a sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning, wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. Now let's get down to verse 38. All the way down to verse 38. Because we're looking at black folks. That's what we're looking at. People of color. Skip down to verse 38. It says, if a man also or a woman have in the skin of their flesh bright spots. Wait a minute now. If we were looking at these pictures that they want to put in, and we're looking at this guy here, see what color they got him? He white. How we gonna see white spots on the white man? He already got white spots on him, man. That don't make no sense, do it? These are the images that they want to put out there, but when you read the Bible, you find out, these ain't the color, these ain't the real, this ain't talking about these color people. They ain't the ones. So 38, he said, then the priest shall look and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of his flesh be darkish white. Interesting. It is freckle spot that grows in the skin. He is clean. So now, let's go look at some facts, y'all, right quick. Ethiopia. I want to bring this up right quick about Ethiopia. Got a lot of information put out here. And we're going to take a good look at it. The term Ethiopia. This comes out of the Eastern Bible Dictionary. Ethiopia, listen to this, y'all. It means country of burnt face. Okay, country of burnt face. In other words, black. Okay, because anything that's burnt is what? Black. Okay? The Greek word by which the Hebrews Cush is rendered. Now I'm going to skip down inside this. It is the descendants, its inhabitants were descendants of Ham, scattered and peeled. Herodotus, the Greek historian, describes them as the tallest and handsomest of men. They are frequently represented on Egyptian monuments, and they are all of them type of true Negro. Oh, so Egyptians, Ethiopians are Negroes, black folks. Now let's do something right quick. Let's go to Amos 9 and 7. Amos 9 and 7. Amos 9 chapter and verse 7. And see what the Lord likened the children of Israel unto. Amos 9 and 7, y'all. Here we go. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? Wait a minute now. If I take a picture of these photos that they have of these alleged folks that's supposed to be Jews, y'all. Do they look like Negroes to y'all? I mean, didn't show nobody to tell you, but y'all know plainly these are white folks. They don't look nothing like no Ethiopians, y'all. They don't match this picture right here, y'all. Look at the contrast. These are your white folks, and these are the ones that look like Ethiopians. Burnt face, they black. These are people of color. That's why the Lord compared it. So let's finish that verse. He said, have I not brought up the children of Israel, have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt? Yes, he did. So that means that the children of Israel look like Ethiopians. And everybody knows, when you say Ethiopian, you saying what? Black folks. That's a no-brainer. Society, every time you think of Ethiopia, the first thing that comes to your mind is a black people. So the children of Israel, the Lord compared us unto black people, because if you look at all the artifacts that come out of Egypt, they are black folks, not white folks. Because don't nobody think of, you don't think of white folks when you hear the word Ethiopia. So now, I'm going to finish that. He says, and the Philistines from Captor, and the Syrians from Ker. So now let's go and look at one of the most famous persons of the Bible. He's so famous, everybody will say the Mosaic Law. They say we no longer under Moses' law. You know, you hear the Christians always quoting it, but they don't realize what color Moses was. So let's go look at Moses, y'all. Let's go to Exodus 4th chapter and verse 1. Exodus 4th chapter, and we're going to look at something in this chapter that got everything to do with the color of Moses. And the Bible tells us that Jesus was a prophet like unto Moses. So we found out that Moses is a black man. Exodus 4th chapter, and because this is when the Lord was sending Moses, and Moses was like, look, your folks ain't going to hear me. And look, the Lord said, look, let me show you, let me give you some things to show the children of Israel, because these some stiff-necked, hard-headed folks. That's why the Lord had it written in the book, Jews seek after a sign, but the Gentiles after wisdom. That's why I can sit down and talk to the Seventh-day Adventist Gentile. Israel, and I even got a Hebrew, he a dead Jack, he don't know Israel. He's talking, man, I ain't no Israelite. Anyway, that's why the Lord said, who's blind in my servant? The perfect as the one I sent. Anyway, that's another lesson. We're going to get into that in the midst of this Israel, the Black History series. But we're going to go, and the Lord is giving Moses these signs. And actually what we're going to do, we're going to go to Exodus 4 and verse 6. Because I got a lot to get out. Exodus 4 and verse 6. Watch this, y'all. Because the Lord had given Moses some signs up. He had turned the serpent into a stick, and then turned the stick back into a serpent. Now at verse 6, look what the Lord said. The Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Let me say that real slow. Behold, his hand was leprous as snow. What color is snow, y'all? Everybody knows that. So what color was it before he turned it as leprous as snow? Had to be in what? Had to be in black. That comes from a 7-year-old. Now I know most of y'all got higher education than a 7-year-old now. Come on. Now watch this. Verse 7. And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. Uh-oh. So if we really are Bible students of the Bible, and we actually believe what we read, and this is a natural thing, an earthly thing, if his son's hand was white and he put it back in and it came back as his other flesh, then what was it before it was snow, y'all? Black. That means Moses was a black man. Flat out. And notice what Jesus, the Lord told, what Jesus said. And it shall come to pass, if they would not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, which is up between verses 1 through 5, then he said, then they will believe the voice of the latter sign, which was to turn a man's hand from black to white, and from white back to black. So let me, again, picture this, y'all. I want to bring this up right back, because a lot of people need this solid information, clear, concise information. Let's look at the example of, see, this is a person with vitiligo. Spots like that. Okay? And let me read what vitiligo is. Because this is what actually happened to Michael Jackson. Vitiligo is a condition in which the pigment is lost from areas of the skin, causing whitish patches. Ain't that what we read in Leviticus 13 chapter, y'all? So that's what that was actually reading about, vitiligo, often with no clear cause, also called leucodermia. Where does the word vitiligo come from? It is believed the word vitiligo comes from Latin. The first part of the word is vita is from the Latin word meaning a mark or a blemish. That's why Cain received a mark, because Cain was a black man, and he put the mark on him. And everybody saw him and be like, whoa, we getting away from him. Because guess what? Adam came out the ground, and he was a black man too. But look, I'm going to hammer this right here. And the suffix is logo is common Latin Indian meaning to bind or cause. So vitiligo is what Michael Jackson was stricken with. Vitiligo is what the Lord just gave Moses a taste of. Now I'm going to skip this. It is more noticeable in individuals with dark skin. Look, if we take some white folks, y'all, let me get this piece right here, y'all. And I want to compare again, because we have to be mindful that you got some hard heads out there that want to say, well, you know, that's all your opinion. Well, look, I want to bring this up. Let me bring this up so we can compare and look at these folks right here. Look at this. This is a person. This is somebody white. Okay. Now, if a white man came to a bunch of us white folks, come on. See, God gave us your sign. Really? If you was a white man and he did this to you, how much of a sign is that, y'all? Okay. Now let's look at a black man that comes with a white thing on him. Boom. Everybody like, hey, whoa, dude, man, you got, ooh. That's why I said they would believe this sign. Why? Because he's in the midst of a bunch of black folks. Like it was, like as we have discovered, if you go look on the walls of the Egyptian pyramids of the Hebrew slaves. Just as we see right here, depicted right here on this. They get blotched to the white on there. Everybody gonna be like, man, something happened to you, man. That's why the Lord said they shall believe the latter sign. If they don't believe a stick being turned into a snake and a snake being turned back, then they're going to believe your hand getting turned white, Moses. They sure going to believe that. So now, let's do something. Now, because see, now here's a picture of what they want to put in front of you as Moses. And the Lord turned his hand white. Wait a minute, man. He already white, dude. So this picture don't make any sense. This is what they have promoted to society to have you think that the Jews are white folks, or that Moses was a white man, when in fact the Bible condemns photographs like this. This is an error. The same people that put this out there, the same one that gave you Christmas, the same one that gave you Easter eggs and bunny rabbits. Okay? So, with that being said now, let's go and look at Moses' sister. Let's look at Moses' sister, y'all. Let's go to Numbers 12 chapter. And God got angry with Miriam. We're going to see right quick why. Because we're going to go to Numbers 1. Numbers 1. And then we're going to skip that. We're going to go to Numbers 1st chapter. And then we're going to skip that. Numbers 1. I'm sorry, Numbers 12 and 1. Numbers 12 and 1. Numbers 12th chapter and verse 1. Watch this, y'all. Now watch this. And it reads, and Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. Oh, wait a minute, ain't Ethiopians like unto the children of Israel? Huh? Look at this. Here go a picture of some Ethiopians, y'all. These are the black folks. But they look like us, don't they? Pictures of Ethiopian children. They're black. So, Moses had married, this is actually his second wife, because he married Zipporah first. And then his second wife here, this Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Now, they went up against Moses because, you know, for whatever reason, we ain't going to get into that right now. That's not our precept. Our precept is, what happened to Miriam for rising up against Moses for marrying a woman that looked the same color as he looked? Let's get down to verse 9. Let's see what happened. Notice, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departs. The Lord was mad at, look, my servant Moses, you got a problem. You speaking against my servant Moses. You got to be careful when you speaking against servant of God. Amen. That's trying to do this thing. You got to be, hey, because you will anger God. Yeah. This is a perfect example right here. For doing the right thing, then you're going to be angry. Notice, verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous white as snow. Wait a minute now. If Miriam was a white woman, as let me look at some of these photographs. Pull some of these little photographs up, y'all. And some of these women are depicted here in this white photograph with some white ladies in it. How would the Lord turn this woman white? Is she already white? Come on, y'all. That don't make any sense, right? Just like what they call Christianity, it don't make sense till you start reading this book. Then you find out, hey, that's another kind of Christianity. And it don't make sense. But if you once you come out of that, you begin to realize Bible Christianity, and you become a Bible Christian, and you see stuff like this. Miriam was leprous, became leprous white as snow. Well, let's look at what a picture looks like when you have one of the sisters turn to leprous white as snow. This is a picture of a sister right here. You can tell by the texture of her hair that she's Hebrew, but guess what? She's got leprosy, and she's turned white. This is what happened to Moses' sister, okay? So let's keep going. Leprous white as snow. That tell you what color snow is, but I didn't have to tell y'all snow is white. Anyway, and Aaron looked on Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Or we could have said vitiligo. She got hit with vitiligo all across her body. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us. Oh, even he called it sin? So what color was everybody else that's there, y'all? And they looking at this event of being turned white sin. Everybody else there had to be what? Black. Look at all these black folks. Everybody else was black. So the anger of the Lord caused Miriam, Moses' sister, to be turned white because Moses is a black man. Aaron is a black man. The children of Israel are black folks. If you actually believe, like Jesus said, earthly things, so you can comprehend the heavenly things, and like Paul said, that which is natural is first, afterwards that which is spiritual. So we see here that Aaron called it sin. Lay not this sin upon us where we done foolishly and where we have done, where we have sinned. There had not be as one dead of whom the flesh is half consumed, and he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, hear her now. Wait a minute. As we keep reading, everybody else had to be black, y'all. Because there was a bunch of white folks standing there talking about, heal us now, because she got turned white. They be looking up like, come on, y'all. Anyway, so we clearly see that Miriam was turned white because before she got turned white by the anger of the Lord, what color was she? Had to be what? Black. Okay? Had to be black. So now, let's look at the word Egypt and Ham, y'all. I'm going to go to this word Egypt, moving right along. Because we got to understand, when we look at these words in the Bible, Egypt is significant to the house of Israel, because Egypt means spiritually the house of bondage. But let me get to this. We're going to look at the word Egypt. Egypt is the Greek word meaning black land, or Kemet, which means black land. And it's spiritually defined as a house of bondage. If you go into Exodus 20th chapter, starting at verse 1, where it says, I'm the Lord that God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. That's a spiritual application, but the physical application is, it means black land. Okay? Now this information I pulled up was by Chita Anta Diop. And this is what he wrote. The Bible says both Egyptians and Ethiopians are descendants of Ham. Ham was the father of black, dark-skinned races. Okay? That's come out of the Eastern Bible Dictionary too. Now look, the evidence from physical anthropology, notice this, the skeletons and skulls of ancient Egyptians clearly reflect they were Negroid people with features very similar to those of the modern black Nubians and other people of the Upper Nile and East Africa. Now, the Malin dosage test, they did a test on these mummies that's lying in the tombs, okay? Look, it said they conducted this test, and when it was conducted on Egyptian mummies in the museums of Man in Paris, the test indicated these were the remains of black people. So they found melanin in the mummies, the skeletons of the mummies. Okay, they did a osteological evidence, which distinguishes the body portions of various racial groups and categories. The ideal Egyptian was short-armed and black. Notice, Negroid physical type. Now, I want to skip down to this little part here because it's got a lot to get out. It said the Egyptians, as they saw themselves. Egyptians had only one term to designate themselves, Kemet, or as in Negroes, literally. It is the strongest term existing in a Pharaonic tongue to indicate blackness. It is accordingly written in the hieroglyphics representing a length of wood charred at the end and not crocodile scales, singular. Kemet, for an adjective meaning black, it therefore means strictly Negroes or at the very least black men. The term is collective now, which thus describes the whole people of Egypt as a black people. So I have to go here because we're going to go and show you how Hebrew Israelites were mistaken for Egyptians, black folks. Let's clearly go to back to Moses, y'all. We're going to go to Exodus 2nd chapter. Exodus 2. Exodus 2. Exodus 2 and verse 16. When you look in this Bible, you see the word Egypt, we're talking about black people. But guess what? When you see the word Hebrew Israelites or Israel, we're talking about black people. How I know that? Exodus 2 and verse 16. That's where we're going to start at. Because Moses had helped these medium priest daughters. And watch how they describe Moses. We already see his hand had to be turned white, which means he was already what? Black. So let's confirm this. Exodus 2 and 16. Exodus 2 and 16. Yes, we are researching color in the Bible. And anyone that does not do this but claim to be a student of the Bible, they on something else, y'all. They really are. They're not on the truth about God's people or the truth of this book. They need to learn this. You can show it to them. I ain't saying we know it all, but this is very important. What Jesus said. You understand our earthly things, and we dealing with earthly matters, y'all. We're going to get into the spiritual things, too. Or we always deal with spiritual things, got to. So that's a gift. But you got to understand this right here. What color are the people of the children of Israel, or the people of this book? Or the main players, the major characters, like Moses. Moses was a black man. And you hear people always saying, the Mosaic law, ask them what color is Moses. They say, man, oh, it don't make no difference. They never understand the Mosaic law then. That's a spiritual matter. They're not really understanding that. So right here, verse 16. Now the priests of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. And they said, watch this, verse 18. And when they came to Ruel, their father, he said, how is it that you have come so soon today? Watch this. And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock. What did the Bible say? Who helped them? Moses, because Moses was a black man. Egyptian means black man or black land. Kemet means people, a land of black people. All of that. Moses was black, just like an Egyptian is. That's why nowadays they call all those black folks, they think we're all Africans. We're all African Americans, you know, people over there. So you come from Africa. No, we don't. Because Moses was Levi. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that Moses is an Hebrew Israelite out of the tribe of Levi. According to the top of the very chapter, if you read it, tell you he was of the house of Levi, not of the house of Ham. Okay? So we see clearly Moses, a Hebrew Israelite, was called an Egyptian. But where else do we see this similar case? Let's go to Acts, y'all. Let's go with one of the most quoted apostles of all time. Let's go to Acts, the 21st chapter, Acts 21. Everybody love to quote Paul. Love to say, man, the white man wrote this book. Well, we're going to see what Paul was called, y'all. In Acts 21, and we're going to write for 37. This is the most celebrated apostle in the New Testament. You got people that got whole doctrine built around Paul, called it the Pauline doctrine. You got your Marcionites, Pauline doctrine. You got your alleged Christian, modern day Christian, Pauline doctrine. Everybody loves Paul. Ask them what color Paul is. They be looking at what difference does that make? They flat out ignore what Jesus said. If you don't understand earthly things, how you gonna understand heavenly things? And we saw in this book 5 places, and that clearly show the people are black, and that this Bible is not written by no white man. Matter of fact, we're gonna show you right now that all the letters of Paul come from a people of color. Black man. Paul was a black man. How I know this? Because we just read where Moses was called an Egyptian. Let's see if the same thing happens to Paul. Acts 21 and 37. And as Paul was led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, may I speak unto thee? Who said, canst thou speak Greek? He said to Paul, can you speak Greek? Now look what he said. Are not thou that Egyptian? What does the word Egyptian mean in this Bible, y'all? Mean black, don't it? So he just called Paul a black. He said, ain't you an Egyptian? Now, why did Paul get called an Egyptian at this point? Because he had took off the fringes and he was walking around. Because remember, Moses wasn't wearing no fringes at that time. So Egyptians don't wear fringes. So they figured because he's black, he must be an Egyptian. Just like they mistaken you now. Call you an African American. But as soon as you put on fringes, they be, oh, you must be Jewish. So that's how I know Paul took off fringes, because they mistaken him for an Egyptian, and Paul understood at this point in his walk with God, we walk by faith, not by sight. He didn't have no fringes on. Because we know Egyptians don't wear fringes on. Everybody know that. Notice he said, verse 38, we're going to read that clearly. Are not thou that Egyptian which before these days made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? See, Paul was being mistaken for what? Someone that committed an atrocity, but they were what? Black. Paul was a black man. He didn't have no fringes on, but look what Paul said. Verse 39. And Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew. Uh-oh. Wait a minute now. If I take a picture of these people that's in the Holocaust, were y'all mistaken any of these guys for Egyptians? No. Not a one. Here go another picture of the Holocaust. These Jews, that's why I picked these, because they got what? They turned white. Would you mistake any of these for Egyptians? No. So these are not the people that the Bible calls the children of Israel. That's what we're going to deal with after Jerusalem after 70 AD. Matter of fact, I want to bring this up right quick. Speaking of Jerusalem, I just want to bring up some census information concerning Jerusalem around 70 AD, y'all. Because 70 AD was a time that Jesus walked around here on earth. And I want to bring this data up right quick. Let me bring this data up. And it's come out of world. Here we go. Let me bring this up. This comes out of the World Christian Trends from AD 30 to AD 220. I mean 22, the year 2200 by David Barrett and Todd Johnson. Jerusalem at the time of 70 AD, one generation after Christ, world was 0.1% Christian, 85% of them being non-white. What do it mean when it says non-white? That means not white. So Jerusalem was occupied by colors. Look at these. Look at all these non-whites I got on here. So when you say non-white, you're saying this what? Black folks. Non-white means you're black. And Jerusalem was 85% full of black folks in 70 AD, y'all. Again, this comes out of World Christian Trends, AD 30 through the year 2200, interpreting annual Christian mega census by David B. Brenner and Todd M. Johnson. Okay, so Jerusalem. That's why when we get to that, we're going to deal with Jerusalem before 70 AD and Jerusalem after 70 AD. So now let's go to Genesis 42nd chapter right quick and confirm that Egyptians and Israelites look alike, same color, y'all. And then I'm saving the best for last. We're going to deal with Jesus. We're going to deal with the Lord. Okay? So we're going to go to Genesis 42 and verse 1. Color researched in the Bible, y'all. You got somebody that feels, they got some bearings with this book. Ask them, well, what color were the children of Israel? And they can't tell you that those were black folks. They really ain't a student of this book. They have really been taught the truth of God, because understanding color has its aspects, y'all. Got to understand, because Jesus said salvation is of the Jews. And if you're thinking the Jews running around looking like the picture that they got right here of these white folks, your salvation, you far from salvation. Real far. So right here in Genesis 42 and verse 1. Watch this, y'all. Let's get a good context on here. Genesis 42 and verse 1. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do you look one upon another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy for us thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. They went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him. Now they thought Joseph was dead. Let me give you a good background before I continue. They had sold Joseph off much earlier than this time period we read right here. So they thought Joseph was dead. That's why he didn't want to see him Benjamin. Jacob didn't want to lose another son because he thought he had lost Joseph. So now watch this. Verse 4. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not, verse 5. We need to start at verse 5. But the sons of Israel, that goes to show you Jacob's name is also called Israel, came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan, and Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. Watch this, y'all, because they thought Joseph was dead, so they come in thinking, hey, we come and bow down to the ruler of the land. Now watch this. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, because Joseph was alive, of course, but made himself strange unto them. Why? You're going to see, y'all. and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him, because they thought he was an Egyptian, y'all. Because guess what? He was smooth face. Because the Egyptians don't believe in wearing beards, y'all. They're not no bearded face people, y'all. Okay? But notice, and okay, so I need to skip down right now to verse, let's go to Genesis 43 and 11. Just like the Indians, y'all, Indians don't like wearing beards. That's why when I hear a certain sect of our brethren running around talking about the Indians are Israelites too, I'm like, well, why they hate beards, man? I ain't never seen a picture with a full-faced beard Indian. Will somebody please find that for me and show it to me when you get a chance, please? Indians hate beards. And Hamites don't like wearing beards. They don't like being bearded. Israel like being bearded. That's why they said he made himself stranger to them. Because he done took off that hair off his face, y'all. Israel, we'll wear hair on our face, but them Hamites, child, please. So we're going to 43 and 11. Watch this. Genesis 43 and 11. And their father Israel said unto them, If it must be so now, do this. Take the best fruits in the land of your vessels and carry down the man a present, a little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds. And take double money in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks, carry it again your hands, prevent it was oversight. And notice, take also your brother and rise, go again unto the man. So they didn't know it was Joseph. They were saying the man. They did not know that was his brother because he looked like Egyptian, just like everybody in this photograph is actually masters and slaves. Right. But everybody black. You actually have to actually go in here and point out, there go the master and there go the slave. That's the slave. They're going to actually have to point these things out to you. Other than that, everybody look alike. So that's the same thing that was going on right there. So they're looking at the man Joseph, but they don't realize this is a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, so now let's get down to verse 32. All the way down to verse 32, y'all. Actually 31, I'm sorry. But this is what Joseph, he said, they come in and he's aware that his brothers are there. And he's trying to hold back and contain himself. He like, look, I ain't gonna reveal myself just yet. So watch this, y'all. Verse 31. He washed his face and went out and refrained himself and said, set on bread. So he acted like the man. Joseph, he playing his role. He playing his role because he looked like all the other Egyptians around. Now watch this. And it set on him for him by himself. Watch this. So they sitting on bread. I mean, let's get ready to eat, y'all. And they set on him, and they set on for him by himself. Okay, so the Egyptians set bread for Joseph by himself and for them by themselves. Now wait a minute now. So they okay, why is the separation? Being everybody black. Why? For the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves. And for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that an abomination unto the Egyptians. So even though everybody's black, they ain't necessarily your brother. Right. That's why Israel went into captivity to the Egyptians. The Egyptians felt it was an abomination to eat with the Hebrews. Both of them black, everybody black. But there's different lineages, y'all. Different lineages. So notice now, verse 33. And they set before him the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. They're like, wait a minute now. Why is Joseph sitting by himself, and you got these Egyptians right here, and you got us, the Hebrews? We know we Hebrews, and he an Egyptian. That's why they marveled at each other. And he took and sent messages unto them from before him, but Benjamin's mess was 5 times so much as any of theirs, and they drank and were merry with him. Now let's go to this revelation, where they revealed themselves. Well, Joseph reveals himself. Let's go to Genesis 45 and 4. Because all these black folks sitting there, they like, wait a minute, man. We know it's an abomination for y'all to eat with us. But why is that one guy sitting out there separate from y'all? And he's the man. The man sitting by himself, all you Egyptians together, because y'all don't want to eat with us Hebrews because it's an abomination. We're aware of that. We'll understand the custom. Now we get the answer as to why. Genesis 45 and verse 4. Actually, we'll start at 3. No, 1. I'm sorry. Genesis 1, because we want the full context of how he revealed himself. So Genesis 45 and 1. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him while Joseph made himself known unto his brother. Watch this. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. They heard Joseph crying. Watch this. And Joseph said unto his brother, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? Watch this. And his brother could not answer him, for they were troubled as well. They was troubled at his presence. And watch this. Joseph said unto his brother, come near to me, because they was afraid. Oh man, dang. I prayed you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. So he had to let them know why. All these folks look the same color. But these are Egyptians and Hebrews all mixed together, y'all. Watch this. Now therefore, be not grieved nor angry with yourselves that you sold me hither, rather. For God did send me before you to preserve life. That's why it all went down like it did. So sometimes we got our preconceived notions, how we think we felt, and it may be good, we may be going through it. Man, why I got to go, this is jacked up. Dude, why I got to do this? And you're going to find out, hey, wait a minute, you may say God had me go through this for a purpose you wasn't even aware of until the end. And bang, you be like, no wonder I had to go through that. Joseph understood that God sent him into Pharaoh's house, because they all black, like Moses was mistakenly, because they all black. We talking all black folks right here to save, like I said, to preserve life. For these 2 years had the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So this is a black man. All black folks, y'all. Ain't no Gentiles involved in none of this. Remember, it's the Egyptians with the children of Ham. Matter of fact, let's go and look at this right quick. Let's go to Genesis 10th chapter. And then we're gonna get to we're gonna break off a little something else in here. Because you got people saying, well, if you ain't no Gentile, if you ain't no Jew, you a Gentile. Right. That's a bald-faced lie. I'm gonna flat out tell you, flat off the top. Right. Okay? And we're going to see why I can boldly say that. Because look what the book says Gentile is. And then we're going to see clearly that Ham is a progenitor of Cush, Mizraim, the children that we commonly know as Africans. And they don't like to be called Africans, y'all. They really don't. Those are the children of Ham. So we're going to Genesis 10th chapter and start at verse 1. Genesis 10 and 1. Genesis 10 and 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now to them were sons born after the flood. So now you got 3 sons of Noah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They're brothers. They're the sons of Noah. Shem is not the son of Ham. Ham's not the son of Japheth. All three of these sons come out of one man. Okay? Now watch how the Bible breaks it down. The sons of Japheth, which is Gomer, Magog, Mediah, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tyrus. These are the sons of Japheth. Now we're talking strictly Japheth. Now to make a long story short, these are your Russians, which is Magog, Javan, which is your Greeks, Tubal, your Turks, Meshach, all of your northern people that fall up under the term Gentile. It'll tell you, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz. You ever heard what the people that call us Ashkenazi Jews? Well, guess what? This is German. And that's why I said Ashkenaz. You put that I on there, and you see why they're calling themselves Nazis. Ooh. Okay? Ashkenazi. That's where the term Nazi comes, because those are your Germans. Those are really German. Y'all know about Hitler and all that, you know. But that's what it's complicated, but this is just the basis that you need to understand that these are Gentiles. They're going to tell you that. And Rephi and Togarmah, the sons of Javan, these are your Greeks. Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, Dordim. Watch this. By these were the isles of the Gentiles, divided in their lands, everyone after their tongue, after their families, in their nations. Those are your Gentiles, the sons of Japheth. Now let's move on to black folks. Okay? Ham, the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan, the sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sapta, Ramah, Sabtincha, the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begot Nimrod. Now Cush, I just went to read earlier, these are black folks, y'all. These are Mizraim. This is where the word Egypt comes out. The Egyptians come out of Ham. Okay? So now it says, Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. And that's why Egyptians, the Hamites, were the first great kingdom on the earth. Nimrod was a Hamite. That's why I said he became a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. Okay? So, and the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar, and the land went forth Asher, and built Nineveh, and the city of Rehoboth, and Calah, risen between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city. And Mizraim, those are your Egyptians, begat Ludim, Admah, Lehi, and Naphtali, and Pahathim, and Kaluhim, out of whom came the Philistines. See, the Philistines was our never enemy. So we had, before we got problem with white folks, I'm gonna put it like that. Our biggest problem was with other black folks. Right. That black on black thing, that's been long, that's way on the other side of the wall. They're the ones that was selling us up to the Gentiles. Right. Okay? You got the Arabs involved in that, but we'll deal with that. I got special for them boys, for our cousin Ishmael. Anyway, that's another precept coming during this Black History Month. Look, so the Philistine, that's why David was fighting against Goliath. You had a little black man going up against a big black man. Little man, they said, you coming at me? Y'all sending a little boy at? Child, please. That's what it looked like. Two black folks going at it. So now, all of these people, these are black. Now, I'm going to skip down to verse 20. Even Sodom and Gomorrah has been, matter of fact, I'm skipping down to verse 19. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as thou comest to Gerar unto Gaza, as thou goest to Sodom and Gomorrah. These are black folks. Black, these lesbians, so these gay homosexuality, that started among black folks under Ham. Now look, even Adamah and Zobin, even until Lasha. These are the sons of Ham after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations. Did it call them Gentiles, y'all? No. So Hamites are not Gentiles. Your Europeans are just straight white folks. We go in depth on that. We're not doing Gentiles in the church. What we doing people of color today. All of these are black folks I just read down, y'all. Or dark-skinned folks. Even your Indians, because think about it. They hate beards. Hamites hate beards, y'all. So just like you see them out there doing the voodoo, woo, and all that, think about it. You got the Indians jumping around doing the same thing. They put on a little garb, they just sit on the teepee, then you go over to the land of Ham, and then you see them sitting in huts. Teepees, huts. Because they related. Indians fall under Ham, y'all. They're not Israelites. Okay? Now, verse 21. Unto Shem, also the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth. Notice it said he's his brother. Which means nobody that come out of Shem is a Gentile. Japheth had the Gentiles. Shem had all the Shemites. We are Shemitic people. Colored people that come out of Shem. We're Shemitic. So when they start talking about anti-Semitic, boy, it's a whole lot of anti-Semitism going on, y'all, for a long time. Yeah. Long time. But because of the people that's stuck in what they call Christianity, they want to say, everybody that's not a Jew, that's a Gentile. Wrong answer. These are black folks, y'all. So let's go to our last and most famous character of all, Jesus. Let's look at Jesus, y'all. Let's see what color Jesus was. Oh, no, before we go, one last spot. 1 Kings 5 and 26. 1 Kings 5 and 26. Because there was this man, he had a problem in so much Elisha pronounced a curse on this man. Because he was dealing dishonestly. And watch what I got a question to ask you after we read this passage, y'all. Watch this. 2 Kings. I'm going to say 2 Kings 5 and 26. And then we go into our last character, y'all. Our last character. But before we go there, you can drop this on anybody and ask them a question I'm about to bring up after we read this passage. 2 Kings 5 and 26. And he said unto him, went not my heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? What not with you, man? Is it time to receive money and to receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and manservants? Watch this, y'all. The leprosy, therefore, of Naaman shall cleave unto thee and to thy seed forever. So look, he had this pronounced on him. Watch this. And he went out from the presence a leper as white as snow. My question is, what color was it when he came in? What color was it? He came in white. So he had to come in what? He came in black. This is a black man that walked in and came out white and had a curse pronounced on his seed forever. The seed of leprosy. That's why if you see some albinos that's among us, chances are they're the seed of Naaman, y'all. Because it just got to say, the leprosy there of Naaman shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper, white as snow. So now let's move on to our last and most famous character of this whole book, Jesus. Let's go and see what Jesus was here when he was a child, y'all. Let's go to Matthew's 2nd chapter. Matthew's 2nd chapter. This is our last character. But they got Jesus running around looking like see, these are the images that they want to put out there of Christ. They want to have you thinking Christ looks like that. With goat hair. Here go another one. This is on the front of Time magazine. He got blue eyes, goat hair, and pearly white skin. He got white skin, y'all. And look at this. This is a child. So Jesus, this is time we finna see when Jesus was a little baby. Let's see if he looked like this, y'all. Okay? Watch this. Matthew's 2 and 1. Matthew's 2 and 1. Notice. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, December 25th wasn't in there, huh? Interesting. But let's get down to see what they did after Jesus was born at verse 12. And no dates in there, y'all. We already dealt with that when we dealt with Christmas. Anyway, verse 12. Because Herod wanted to kill Jesus. But there was a warning given to Joseph and Mary to do this. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt. Now, wait a minute, y'all. If this little baby came into Egypt, this little baby coming to Egypt and was hiding amongst these black folks, look how that stand out, y'all. Come on, man. Y'all, I ain't gonna show nobody to tell you this. That little white baby in the midst of black folks. Can I get a child, please? Okay. Herod would have found him. He would have got him, y'all. And look, verse 14, it said, because it said he was seeking to destroy him. And when he arose, he took the young child and his mother, and by night departed into Egypt. Now, what we read, Egypt means what? Black. Land of black people. You want to say, Kimmy, black land. Land of black people. So you're going to take this little baby, that little child right there, you're going to go, that's like sending him to his death. But no, Jesus is the same color as Moses, and we're going to show that. Now notice verse 14. And he arose and took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, verse 15, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. So he had to call him out of the land of black people, which means Jesus was what? Black. Well, we're gonna solidify that. Let's go to Romans 9 chapter. Romans 9. And it's gonna talk about what Jesus came into. Now remember, Jesus, the Egyptians and the Israelites looked the same. All black folks. Moses was mistaken for an Israelite. Paul was mistaken for an Israelite. Joseph was mistaken for an Egyptian. So they were mistaken for Egyptians. All this, look, there's a mixture of Egyptians and black folk and Hebrews right here. Y'all can't tell unless I go in and point it out. Who the master and who the slave is. But everybody black. You have to actually go and be like, okay, that's a Hebrew. No, that's an Egyptian. Because they all black. Well, look what it says about Jesus, y'all. And we're going to start at Romans 9 and 4. Romans 9 and 4. Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law. How you going to give a law that ended at the cross, y'all? Right. I always like to say that when I read this. If Jesus ended the law at the cross, why Paul talking about the giving of a law? If it's over, abolished, as they love to say that. Even had one famous preacher out there talking about, the devil wants you to keep the law. Really? Child, please. Anyway, and it said, and the service of God and the promise. This is all things that the Lord lay on Israel, but we're going to get to that. We ain't in that precept in this part. We're focusing on color, because watch how Jesus came. Whose are the fathers, and as whom concerning the flesh, Christ came. So what color was the Israelites mistaken for, y'all? Egyptians, and Egyptians mean what? Black. Didn't we read, are you not like unto the Ethiopians, O ye children of Israel? When you say Ethiopian, you say what? Black. Which means Jesus had to look like an Ethiopian, didn't he? Which means he was what? Black. But let's confirm that. Let's go to Hebrews 2 and 9. I'm going to let the book tell you. Because so many people done told you so many things you can't read. Look. We want to keep it tight, y'all. Hebrews 2 and 2, and I'm gonna go straight. Well, see that we're talking about Jesus, then we're gonna skip down. 2 and 9, and then we're gonna skip down. But this is, we're going to skip down. Look at Jesus. But we see Jesus, Hebrews 2:9. But we see Jesus, who's made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crying with glory and honor, that he by the grace of God should taste death for every man. So now let's get down to no, keep going. For it came by him for whom are all things, because Jesus is God, and by whom are all things, and bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. For both he that sanctified and they who are sanctified are all of one, for which cause he is not ashamed to call them brethren. Saying, I will declare my name unto my brethren in the midst of the church, will I sing praise unto thee. And again I will put my trust in him. And again, behold, I and the children which God hath given me. For notice, for then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had power of death, that is the devil. Now let's get down to verse, keep going. And delivered them to destroy him who had power of death, that is the devil, and delivered them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage, because we are. Wherefore, verse 16. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but took on him the seed of Abraham. Also, the seed of Abraham was black folks, Then he said, wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. So if his brethren looked like Egyptians and was likened unto Ethiopians, what color does Jesus have to be, y'all? Had to be what? Black. Okay? That he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. But let's go to the 13th chapter and confirm that Jesus is black. Hebrews 13th chapter. Watch this, y'all. Hebrews 13 and 11. It says, for the bodies of those beasts whose blood is brought into the sanctuary by the high priest for sin are burned without the camp. So when you burn something, what color is it? Black. It's black. Let's see what Jesus did. Wherefore Jesus also, so just like that animal, that blood of the beast was burnt, he said, wherefore Jesus also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffer without the gate. Wait a minute, so Jesus had, so the animal sacrifice had to be burnt, and it was black. What color is Jesus? Black. Let's confirm that, y'all. Let's go to Acts 3:22. Remember, Moses had to take it, when he took his hand out of his bosom, it became what? White as what? Snow. And then when he put it back in his bosom, it became as his other flesh. So what was it when he, if it had to be turned white? I mean, when it got turned back to what color? Black. So let's see what it says about Jesus. Acts 3:22. Acts 3:22. We're in our last part of this cover. Notice. Notice. For Moses truly said unto the fathers, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up to you of your brethren. Wait a minute. Like unto me. Wait a minute. Moses' brother is black, right? So if we're going to raise up a prophet like unto me from among his brethren, what color did this prophet have to be, y'all? Had to be what? Black. Notice, him shall you hear in all things whatsoever you shall see, he say unto you. Now let's get down unto this verse 26. Remember, he said, raise up, right? Gonna raise up this prophet. Watch this, verse 26. Unto you first God having raised up, his son Jesus. Oh, so Jesus had to be what? Black. This is that prophet that's like unto Moses. In so many ways, y'all. But we just dealing with the color aspect. Notice, sent him to bless you in turning away every one of you from his iniquity. So now let's go to Revelations 1 and 13 and get a direct description of what Jesus looked like. Revelations 1, let's see if he had hair like wool, and let's see if his skin was burnt. Because remember, the animals had to be what? Burnt for sin. That's what the sin offering was. They were burnt offerings for sin. So it said also Jesus. So let's see if the book fulfills this thing. Let's see if the book back me up. Let's see if the book back me up. Revelations 1 and verse 14. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 11, and then we're going to skip down. This is who's talking, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. Who's that? That's Jesus talking, y'all. I'm going to finish this verse. What thou see is right in the book, and send it unto the seven churches. So he said, send the book, huh? Interesting. Move right along. And to the seven churches which are in Asia, Ephesus, and Smyrna, and to Pergamos, and to Thyatira, and to Sardis, unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice of him that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. So we see Jesus talking to him. So he turned to see him. So let's see what he described about him. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to his foot, and girded about the paps with girdles. Notice here, golden girdles. Notice he ain't mentioned no fringes there, huh? Interesting. That's done away, boys. We right along. Let's see what his physical description is. His head and his hair was white like wool. Not like goat hair. Wait a minute. Now this guy got he got goat hair. This thing right here, is his hair woolly or is it goat hair? That's goat hair, y'all. Stringy. That's why when they put the crown of thorns on his head, it would have just slid down off his head. But if you got woolly hair, as soon as you put those crown of thorns on there, it sticks. Boom. Stays. Ain't going nowhere. Because you put a crown of thorns on wool, not goat's hair. Just food for thought. His head and his hair was white like wool, not like goat's hair. Notice, and his eyes were as a flaming fire, and his feet like as fine brass, as if they were burned. Wait a minute, did we read the sin offering was burnt? So Jesus being the sin offering for us, it just said as if they were what? Burned in the fire. Anything that's burned is what color, y'all? Black. That comes from a 7-year-old. I know y'all got higher educated than that. Okay? So if his burnt feet is burnt in a furnace and his voice is as the sound of many waters, what color is Jesus, y'all? Black. And now for our last, okay, so I got it, okay. So with that being said, being black, Jesus was black, like unto a prophet, like unto Moses who was black, who was mistaken for an Egyptian. Even Paul was called an Egyptian. All of Israel was mistaken for an Egyptian. Joseph was a mistake. His own brother thought he was an Egyptian because he didn't have no beard on, y'all. Because when you take off that beard, then you look like they call us African American. To the Gentile, we all look like Africans. That's why they have on no job application. They say black. They don't separate us down, y'all. Because we living in the times of the Gentiles. Okay? That's why they put on their application, black. Okay? So I hope you guys understand about this color. This concludes this our color portion of what we're doing as a Black History series. Israel, the Black History series. So we're going to deal with conditions on the next rip. Because not only do the colors match us, the conditions of the people of color at this book, we're going to get into it, y'all. And man, it still got me taught, y'all. You know, the blessings and the curses. That's all I got to say. So join us for our next portion of this for the blessings and the curses on Israel.